Hello everyone, today we're going to do something a little different in the background here. You're watching the creation of me, my main character, my first character, on the day that Guild Wars 2 released. Showing this because I watched it a couple days ago and I thought it was so funny how young I was, how inexperienced I was, and how little gold I had at that time. Starting out in Guild Wars 2 is difficult, getting enough gold to make it over the hump. However, today I'd like to actually talk about what happens when you're on the other side. When you have a little bit more money than what you really want to throw in the trading post right now, or a little more money than what you really want to invest. So what do you do when you've amassed a wealth of gold? The amount that you want to keep on the trading post entirely depends on you. Currently, you might have anywhere from a couple gold to a couple hundred gold on the trading post. A few out there might have hit 1,000 gold on the trading post, but I'd guess only a couple. What do you do with your gold, though, when you do have several hundred or a couple or several thousand? Remember, this is still a young economy. Every time you complete an event or fill in a heart or finish a zone, you gain several silver. This money doesn't come from somewhere. It's created by you when you go out and play the game. What about killing a dragon? Every player is given gold. Imagine 50 players, each receiving 2 to 3 silver for killing that dragon. That's another gold on the trading post. What's the effect of this magically appearing money? It creates inflation. Now, this is offset by items that are created and placed in the market, so the impact per event is rather small. In fact, most players only receive a couple silver for killing a dragon, but they receive at minimum a gold's worth of items. Imagine getting a precursor from killing a dragon. You've just caused several hundred gold's worth of items to appear on the market, lowering the ratio of gold to items on the market. However, this effect does not offset the constant increase of gold. Inflation raised the value of ectos from 10 silver not too long ago to 30 some odd that they are today. Demand increases the value of items in the short term. That's why we see the market going up and down during events throughout the year. However, the general upward trend in the market is caused not by demand, but by inflation. Additional gold in the market flowing from person to person, meaning that the items will continue to rise and continue to cost more. What does that mean to you? Well, that means that today, if you're sitting with 150 to 200 gold in your account, you're doing pretty good for yourself. But just wait a year or two and you'll be one of the poorest out there. What you need is a hedge against inflation. You've probably heard this term thrown around with respect to buying gold coins in real life. It's because our own real-life currency is inflating as well, and gold protects us from that inflation. How does a hedge work? A hedge is an item which has a more stable quantity in the marketplace than the currency itself. Let's say that a market has 1 million gold in it. The market also has a sole commodity, 1 million slices of bread. If you wanted to buy a slice of bread, you can pay 1 gold and buy 1 slice of bread. I know, this is way more simple than the way it works in real life, but just go with me for a moment. Let's say that you are on the board of a newly created organization called the Federal Black Lion Reserve. You decide that we need to have more liquidity in our market. You mint another 1 million coins and you throw them on the streets for all the poor to take. The littlest sir and rats and everyone else runs out and grabs the gold. Congratulations, you made everyone wealthy. Or have you? The fact is that the market now has 2 million gold, and the same number of slices of bread. Even though people temporarily had more purchasing power, over a very short time we see inflation. Bread rises to 2 gold per slice. Everyone exchanges more money and buys the same quantity of goods. If you're one of the fat cat chars sitting on your pile of gold while this happened, suddenly your wealth of 200 gold buys half as many slices of bread. This is no good. Your wife just gave birth to yet another litter of kittens. This is what hedge is for. You purchase items that have a limited quantity, such as Halloween skins, or an item that has a very low quantity where demand is likely to outpace supply, precursors for example. As long as you hold your value in these items for long enough to pay for the 15% trading post cut, you have successfully avoided the hidden Federal Black Lion Reserve inflation tax. Let's say that this fat cat char was working with an investor, a CERN of course, and knew how to invest his gold before the Federal Black Lion Reserve started throwing gold around. By buying bread or another more stable commodity, he could have turned his previous 200 gold into 340 after factoring in these trading post fees. What items are good for hedging your gold? I personally would warn against any legendary material except for precursors. For some reason I smell a nerf coming to the material requirements for legendaries. Halloween skins, if you can still afford them, gems, mini pets, any limited quantity item where the demand will outpace supply. And as always, diversify. Don't be caught in one market because a single market can suddenly lose all of its value. When ArenaNet decides to re-release an old item, or they change the material components to something like a legendary, or they decide to sunset the item completely. Always diversify, and you'll protect yourself against the evil inflation out there.